Insights with Terri Ep.208, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.208. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.208. Thanks for joining me to explore together the week of February the 24th into March the 2nd. Spring's coming. Actually, there was a pretty warm day yesterday. Not bad at all. That sun felt wonderful. I could see the animals trying to bask in the sun. The ducks were on the fence, trying to soak up the sun. The dogs were on the porch trying to soak up the sun. So we're getting there. We still have a ways to go, but we're getting there. All right, what is going on for next week? The sun sign is in Pisces along with Mercury, which is in Pisces as well. So we're doubling up on the Pisces energy there. Pisces being very psychic, very fluid. It's a water sign. What we have to be careful of is that the fish, the symbol of Pisces, is a fish swimming two different directions. They're going forward and the other one's going backward. So we can get into, and I did talk about this a little bit last week, but we can get into a sort of push-pull type of energy field. So when we look at that, we have to be careful that we're, not taking one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. Nothing wrong if we decide to swim in place or we decide to just stop. But this is typically a time that we can maybe feel like, have you ever had that feeling that you're going in circles? I don't know if you've ever even been lost in the bush. It says, I think, don't quote me, I think a human tends to move more towards the left. And if we just didn't take markers, the sun, the stars, and we couldn't orient ourselves, then we would list to the left or the right. I can't remember which one it is. Please forgive me before I should have looked it up. We will end up in a circle and exactly back where we started from. That is very normal. So they say if you're lost, make arrangements for knowing that you're going to list to one side and you're going to do a full circle. You're just kind of spending a lot of energy going nowhere. You're doing a full circle. And that can be the energy field that we would experience with these Pisces double energy. It is creative and it is amazing for getting us to get in touch with our intuition and feel that sense of, I just can feel. A real good example I'll give you, I knew where all my dogs were. I thought I did, but when you have 15 dogs, right, sometimes, especially, it's just the little guys more than the big guys, they get stuck in pillowcases. They'll get into a drawer, and if you're not, because it's warm, and if you're not careful, you can close the drawer. They can be in the drawer. They can be in the closet, sleeping in the laundry basket, and you close the closet door. So sometimes they get lost, or they'll go into the closet with you when you're hanging up the coat. If you shut the door too quick, the dog is left in there. They'll bark at any other time, but not when they're locked in the closet, right? They'll wait for you to panic, and then you can find them eventually. But I thought I knew where all the dogs were, and then I had another podcast to make, and I wanted it quiet. So, I was kind of preoccupied for about 10 minutes. Then when I went to call my guys to give them all cookies to do a checkpoint, make sure everybody's here, couldn't find one of the little brown guys, that little 6-inch hobbit. Oh, my heart starts to pound. Where is he? Oh my gosh. Did he get through the fence? It's so cold out there. I mean, your mind goes everywhere. My mind was in 1,000 directions at one time. The point, and I'm sorry I'm taking so long, the point of this was I had to stop. I had to recognize that my heart was slamming in my chest. I had to go back in time using my intuition. Breathe, just breathe. When was the last time you saw him? 10 minutes ago you saw him in the house. He was safe. Okay, all right, calm down, Terri. He's safe in the house. Did it feel like he was in the house? Yes, it did. I went out and called outside anyway, just in case. I heard this shrier woman, or this shrier voice of a woman screaming, "Hobbit!" I thought, who is that? Oh, it's me. Back in the house, calling. He always comes. If I call him, he comes. So if he can, he will. So I'm in every drawer, I can't let my intuition help me because I'm too panicked. I'm at breakneck speed, stampeding away mentally. Then I had to calm myself again and say, what does it feel like to you, Terri? What does it feel like? All right, he's safe. He's not in trouble. So then I thought, okay, let's get methodical. What's methodical at a time when you're panicking? Then back into the intuition. And then I remembered that I had a client in the morning that had gone to the washroom in the upstairs by the office. And oftentimes people are in the habit, maybe I should be and I'm wrong, of shutting the bathroom door, but like letting it close. And I thought, I wonder if he went upstairs to the bathroom and then the door closed behind him and he got locked in. And far be it from him to bark. He'll bark at any other time, but not when I'm trying to find him. So after exhausting all avenues, I went upstairs and there he was in the bathroom. The door was closed and he was just sitting there waiting for me to rescue him. So as I say, push-pull of intuition. My intuition said, calm down, go to the first logical place. My mind is going 1,000 miles. I'm trying to be logical, trying not to think of the worst case scenario, which would have been, oh my God, he's outside in the cold. That poor little guy, it's impossible. Trying to just get control of your head. So with this Pisces energy, you may be offered situations to help you practice, maybe scary situations or stressful situations. How do I calm down? How do I get in touch with my feelings? What does it feel like? Does it feel dangerous? What does it feel like? Then we have Aries, the god of war. Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and that's in Venus. Now that's not a great place. That's not a great place. I mean, just think about it. The god of war in our relationship planet. Should I say more? And considering where the global attitude is right now, as well as mine, it might be good, it might be really bad. So just watch yourself. Are you overreacting? Are you feeling more, I'm not going to say violent, but I'm going to say, are you feeling more on edge and willing to take up the mantle as opposed to being a little bit more calm and a little bit more Canadian? So just kind of keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that with your relationships. I'm trying to keep my eye on it when it comes to the politics. I think I'm over the edge and I'm going to have to either throw myself over the edge or pin myself down underneath a wheelbarrow. I'm not sure, but something has to be done. And then Mars, the actual planet Mars, is in Cancer, going retrograde. Now Mars is our energy planet and it is the god of war. But Cancer's been tempering that. Cancer's love and family and take care of each other and love each other. It's that kind of an energy field. Going retrograde. Guess what? It's been going retrograde forever. But now, on the 24th, it's going to go direct. Right? Full in your face on the 25th. And it'll still be in Cancer. Now, what's that going to do? Well, there's a few things that it can do. It can make us look more compassionately at people that aren't acting correctly. It can help us reach out to other people, feel more compassionate, try to see their side of things, try to understand where they're coming from, make friends feel like family, make our relationships, I'm going to get together with the neighbors. I haven't seen them in so long. That's what Cancer will do when it's going direct in Mars. And without the retrograde, you may find yourself having a little bit more energy. Woohoo! We can all use a little bit more energy. I'm looking forward to that too. Although, I've been kind of taking a little bit more of my vitamin B12, being a little bit more regular with the vitamin B12 from Costco. And I can say this week I am a dynamo. So, actually 22,000 steps one day. So, get that vitamin B out if you're feeling a little bit under the weather. But with it going direct, we'll have a little bit better chance of, maybe getting the energy to want to do the things that need to be done. The beginning of the week the first part of the week, you may find yourself a little bit achy in the joints. I know it could be the weather, but where the moon is placed in Capricorn can lend itself to making our joints feel a little bit more inflamed and sore. So just kind of be prepared for that. What would you do if you knew for sure you were going to be sore? And then the middle of the week is going to move down to our feeties. So if you have vulnerable feet and you're on your feet a lot, make sure you've got good footwear. Get those feet up every once in a while. And if you have somebody that really loves you, share feet massages. I can't even imagine what that feels like. I imagine that would be wonderful. Then towards the end of the week, the moon moves into Aries again, so we may be in that energy field of a very short fuse. So if you're finding yourself irritable, ready to fight, ready to be angry, low tolerance, just know it's not your fault. It's Aries' fault, but it doesn't change the outcome. So you can either warn your family to run for the hills, save yourself, it's too late for me, or you can just try to temper it any way you can. Aries does well with exercise, so if you can maybe exercise yourself and get yourself so tired you can't stand up, you'd be less willing to fight. It works for the dogs. It might work for you too. And then on Friday, the new moon is in Pisces. Now the moon itself is a psychic energy. Pisces is a psychic energy. We have Pisces in the sun sign. We have Pisces in Mercury. Holy cow! We also have Pisces in the moon on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and then the new moon. We might just be in an amazing position to just know how things are going to work out for the situations that are around us. And that would be a really good energy field. So new moon, new behaviors, new thoughts, new inspirations, new projects, new relationships, anything new, it's phenomenal for. The challenge can be we're changing directions with that Mars. So usually when it goes from retrograde to direct, we can have a little bit of a wobble there. It isn't full direct yet where you can feel it. And when we got the new moon, maybe around Friday you might want to take the night off. If you can take some of Saturday off, put your feet up, watch a movie, do your books, do something that doesn't require too much activity, in that you may find yourself maybe making mistakes or misstepping or just being too tired to want to get anything done and not do it right. They gave us the number 9, and guess what? They gave us the number 9 last week too, so we have 9s 2 weeks in a row. Wonder what that means. Well, I know that 9 means an idealistic approach towards things, an idealistic approach towards ourselves, and an idealistic approach towards our surroundings. So maybe let's maybe change that word and say maybe it'll be hope. Maybe we'll be gifted some hope for the future, that maybe in our idealism as Canadians, we can look at ourselves and say, we're better than that. No, I'm not. Maybe you are. Maybe there's hope for you. And there's journeys sometimes with this kind of an energy. It can be a journey of the mind, a journey of the emotions, or it can be a physical journey. You might be on a mission going somewhere. It is a high level of mental energy. So that's not great for sleeping. I can tell you that from experience. I'm already starting it. Mind's going. So what would you do to let your mind put the brakes on? If you have tools, you may need to use them this week. This week might not be the best for some of us that have hard time, if not going to sleep, staying asleep, because that mind is going to be high mental energy. But the good thing about high mental energy is we get some thoughts out there. Maybe we can find some solutions. Maybe we can look at more problems. It's a good energy field. And our Ontario vote is going to be on Friday. You can vote early, of course, but that's going to be on Friday. So let's hope that the new moon will give us direction as to where we should be voting for a new, improved Ontario. And Pisces, I hope, will give us the instinct, the intuition to to vote the right way. I know myself, I try to follow politics. I try not to follow it too much, but I'm kind of addicted-ish. Yes, I am, admit it. But I'm also asking my guides. I'm not just bullheadedly making an opinion and sticking to that vote. I've asked my guides to intervene, to interrupt if I'm having thoughts that I should be voting for the wrong person. So I've asked them to help me vote for the right person for everybody, so that everybody feels safe, everybody feels comfortable, so that I don't do the wrong thing for everybody. I'd like to make the right vote for myself, for everybody around me, and I ask them to interfere with my life so that they can help guide me to make a better vote. I'm not just doing this on my own. I'm trying to vote for the world, not just Ontario. So that high level of mental energy allows you to handle difficulties and challenges. So the voting is a challenge sometimes. And get out there and vote. One way or another, get out there and vote. It will allow us to be more in a tune for our goals, to get something going, to be more sensitive, to be courageous, to take on responsibility, to be responsible, to stand up and say, this is wrong. I know I don't really care what you think of me. I don't care if you think that I should sit down and be quiet. This allows us to be courageous and do what's right. It takes courage to stand up for what's right. It really does. And we are needing some courage now in the next little bit. So 9 is really offering us some really great opportunities. The challenge, having 2 9s in a row, I have to think about that. Why did they do that? Because 9s can be sometimes fulfilling and closing cycles and giving us the readiness to advance to the next phase of our life, the next stage. So maybe we are in a reset. Maybe it's true. Things will never be the same. Maybe half the globe will be an autocracy, which will include Russia, China, and the United States, and all the smaller communist and those. Anyway, I can't even speak it. And then the smaller countries, which won't have the strength, will be clinging to democracy. And maybe it's going to be a reset. Maybe. So maybe that's kind of what this 9 is closing the democratic cycle and getting us ready to advance to something that's going to be very difficult and very challenging. And do we have the grace to move through it? The weakness of 9 when it's in with all these planets is that we could have a tendency towards delusions and be extremely emotional. And then you add that with Pisces, holy Toledo, and Cancer, it will be a water mine. My goodness, we'll all be crying everywhere. Moody and exaggerated reactions. So I'm looking at the animals. I may experience that with them, so I'm going to look at them. Are they feeling a little more sensitive? Are they feeling a little reactive, moody? Will they react to something where they wouldn't normally do that? And that can cause emotional strength for the whole pack and for everybody. So watch for mental excesses in this next week. Just kind of keep an eye on yourself and say, is this making sense? Now, I pulled quite a few cards for us, but I'm running out of time. So in a nutshell, I'm going to let you figure out what this means, because most of you, I think, do have your own cards. All of them were major. And so the first card that was pulled was the one that tells us to get a hold of our fears, and that's the 4 of Pentacles. The second one is the Hierophant and Judgment together. Then the World, upside down. The Tower, I don't have to say anything about that. That's been coming up over and over, and that's a scary little situation. The Emotional, which is the King of Hearts, upside down. I know who that means. And the Moon, believe it or not, Intuition. So I'm going to let you figure that out. What do all those cards together mean? Because I don't have the time to be able to explain that to you. It's a powerful combination of cards. And I wish I had another 20 minutes I could talk to you about it. But you know what? Maybe that's what you're supposed to be doing right now, is figuring out for ourselves what some of this means. Alrighty? Thank you very, very much for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. And I thank sincerely Charlie O'Brien. His GoFundMe was successful for him. So I thank all of you, any of you that helped Charlie, because Charlie puts this up on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, and he has the big8radio.com. That's the number 8. Listen to it. It's awesome. And when Charlie gives me the link, I will put it up on Facebook. And he's also created the website, www.terriworld.com, where he has archived 3 or 4 of the podcasts in case you've missed them or you just want to go over them. And if you need a reading for yourself, or you'd like to call me and find out what these cards meant, I would be happy to help you with that. Give me a text or a call, 519-726-6699. Or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Get out there, get some sunshine on that little Canadian head of yours. Have some fun. Put a smile on your face. Put a smile on everybody else's face. Just enjoy. Alrighty? Thanks again, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.